Grab your cup, we're sipping on style, no need to rush. Fonts stay fine, colors align. 5 minute magic design on time.
Welcome to Tea and Templates, honey, where we sit pretty and design smarter. I'm the graphics doula.
Okay, guys, so today I want to get into a walkthrough on how I created this lovely flyer for a fake skincare line. So these products that I created are actually AI generated. This will not be included in the tutorial. However, I just want to show you how I came about with the concept. So ideally what you want to do is you want to come up with your name, your theme, and the verbiage that you want to have on your flyer. If you're Chat GPT savvy, go ahead and plug it into chat and let it do the magic for you. These three items here are going to be elements as well as the product's display stand. And then again, AI generated, the label is already on them. And then I just went back in to label what the items actually are. So let's get started. I went ahead and created a blank canvas, as you can see, but I really want to take you through how I go about creating my designs. So the first thing you want to do, you want to navigate over to text. And for right now, we're just going to go with a default text style. And I'm just going to type the name of my product. I like to design in all caps, so I'm going to go ahead and navigate up here to shift this to uppercase. You can also use Control-Shift-K if you're keyboard savvy. So we'll go ahead and move that to the top. A lot of times I like to get my text up on the screen. And so I'm just going to generate another text style. I'm just going to go up to here and grab it so I don't actually have to type it out. And then I'm going to paste it down here to let you guys see how that comes about. So I do size it to my liking. The only thing I don't do right now is really do a lot of formatting. The object or the whole concept is to get what you want on here and then get to moving it around where you want it as you see fit later on down the line. At least that's my method. So you'll see me add my text to the screen. I am going to go ahead and just put all this in uppercase as well, but I won't worry about too much of the formatting. I do know that I want a little line here, as you can see in this one. And so what I'll do is I'll go over to my elements and I'll type in, let's do a gold line for this one. So once you type in gold line, as you can see, you get a lot of items in your return field. So I'm going to go ahead and pick this one. You can pick whatever you see fit. And I'm just going to see if I actually like this in my design. A lot of times it's about what looks good. And I think that's a little bit too bold for the look that I'm going for. So I'm actually going to try another one. And then I'm going to settle for this one, as you can see. This one will be a little bit different from the one that I already did. But no worries. I did realize that somewhere along the line, my text got deleted, probably because I selected that. So please make sure that you're on the correct layer when you are choosing your items and choosing what to delete. So let's delete this back off, and then let's go in with the one that I originally selected. So I'm just going to put this exactly where I want it. As you can see, there's a line popping up in the middle that lets me know that my design is centered. So I'm going to go ahead and add that. I am going to grab this text from up here and just put it down here. I love to express the fact that if you ever want to see what items or what fonts are in your documents, you can navigate over to the font screen here, and then you'll see a section that says document fonts, recommended fonts for like designs, maybe designs already created in Canva, and then you can go ahead and choose to your liking. I want to change this now that I have all of my text on the screen, to this tan twinkle. As you can see, it already starts to look good. I want to keep these not as bold, but I do want to make sure that I do no more than about 3 different fonts inside of my design. You can design yours how you see fit. Again, this is just my method. So once I have all of my text on the screen, now it's about building what you see here. Okay. So the next thing I want to do is I already have my image uploads. If you do not know how to upload images into Canva, there's an upload tab here for all of your attachments. Okay. So next thing I want to do is add my product display to the screen. Most of the time, these are going to be elements. So I'm going to go back in. I'm going to go to search elements. I'm just going to put product display. A lot of times I search it with the name that I call it. You may get a result, you may not. It's really just trial and error. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and go with this white one that I have right here, and I'm going to add it here. All right. Some people will stop here, but I love green. So the next thing I'm going to do is go back to my search and I'm going to search greenery. Okay, and as you can see, it pops up a lot of greenery. It pops up and you can go through this and have your way. But again, I typically have a certain idea and certain aesthetic. So I'm just going to go back to all. I am going to go out of here because I already have my recently used, as you can see. So I'm just going to use what I already have. And that's going to be this greenery here at the bottom. So I'm going to drop it down where I want it. As you can see a little product and you can make this as big as you like. There we go. And then I'm going to go back in and add some greenery to the top as well. And these you don't really have to adjust. I am going to duplicate this one and just Control C, Control V, and then navigate here to actually flip it horizontally. And then you have pretty much, it looks like it's coming together. I want to make this a little bit bigger because again, the product is going to be the highlight of the flyer. And then the next thing we can do is start to resize. Please make sure that you lock your elements because if you're going to do a lot of moving, your elements will move along with whatever it is that you're trying to select. So now that those are locked, I can go ahead and I can adjust my text as I see fit. And that's what I'm going to do here. Alrighty, so now that I have my text where I want it, I am going to start kind of playing around with it to size it the way I do want my name to kind of be bigger than all of the rest of the text, but I also want to make sure that everything is centered. That's going to be key. So now I have the name of my brand, the tagline, and then just a little brief summary. The next thing is really like the fun part to me, is bringing in the element and doing what I did above. So as you can see, I have my facial wash, my facial serum, and my moisturizer. So all I did was go to my uploads, add my image. As you can see, this image does populate with a background. The first thing I'm going to do is remove the background. Bam, it is removed. And I'm going to duplicate this 2 more times. The reason for that is because I want each individual product to have a spot on the display. So we have the serum here, and this is just repetitive. Okay, have the face wash there, and then we have the moisturizer here. Please make sure that your full item is in the screen. So the next thing is it's going to be all about sizing. I am going to bring this down just a tad because I do want my lotion to be a little bigger, as you can see. I want my serum to be bigger. So this is all about resizing. This is all about resizing. You can make these as big as you like. Again, all of this is to your discretion. I encourage you to get in here and have fun. We could really stop right there if you wanted to, and that's fine. But the next thing I want to do to give it some depth is actually go into each one of these. I'm going to hit my edit screen here at the top. I'm going to navigate over to effects and add a shadow. For this shadow, I'm going to do a drop. And what you'll see is it'll create like a drop, almost like a shadow item to give it some depth to look like it's raising up off of there. So I'm going to add that here, as you can see, and I'm going to readjust my crop, and I'm going to do it for all 3 of them, and then voila. Now, ideally, you can keep your item like this if you desire, but I'm going to go ahead and move my moisturizer to the back of this. And we're just going to do it like that. So you can still see the product. I can even make it a little bit bigger if I desire. And I can even bring this down just a tad to adjust it to where the leaf is not covering my moisturizer. Do you guys see where I'm going? Alrighty, so now that we have our greenery, we have our text, we have our tagline, we have a little summary about what it is that our products offer. We have all 3 of our items. I'm going to do a little bit of just really going in and naming my products so people can know what exactly is being featured on the screen. So I'm going to add my text. As you can see, that white is faded to the back. So the next thing I'm going to do is adjust it to whatever colors. These are my photo colors. So these are the colors included in here. And I always want to keep it neutral. And I may just go with the gold. So I'm going to color that gold again, all caps. I'm going to take this here, Control Shift, there we go. And then I'm going to say facial wash. And I'm just going to add the naming to all of my items. Okay, make some little adjustments. And for the moisturizer, I'm actually going to put it on the bottle. All right. And I'm going to change the color of that one, just so we can actually read it and see it. All right. Now we have moisturizer. Just do a little bit of resizing again. This is to your liking as you see fit. I do like to make sure all of my fonts are the same. So this is 13.8. I want to go and I want to make this 13.8 as well. Just keeping it neutral. I can actually make this bottle a little bit bigger so that we can see it, and to keep it like this. So this is just me again tweaking it to my liking. Once you get in and you start having fun, you will have a certain look, that you're going for. But this is just me tweaking it to my liking. So far that looks good. The next thing that I love to do, I hate white space in the back. So I am going to kind of just grab this text, Control C, Control V. I'm going to keep A and B. I'm going to come over here to my fonts, and I'm looking for a script. And I want something that's like cursive, to go right there in the back just to eat up some of that space. And I may settle for this one. Let's do this one. And the next thing I want to do is shift it, turn it a little bit, and I'm going to make it as big as I possibly can. Okay, it's going to make sense in a minute. So I'm going to move it here. I'm going to navigate over to my layers. I'm going to find it and I'm going to drag it here. The next thing I'm going to do is lower the transparency so that you can see it right behind that text. And voila, you should have something that looks like this. Ta-da!
One click away from a Canva glow up walk. Welcome to the tea party, love.